Hello and welcome to Express News with me, Deepika, your daily half-an-hour window that brings you all the latest news and updates from the country and the world. In the next half an hour, we're going to bring you all the latest news and updates on how the country is celebrating Dussehra and other political, sports and entertainment news in just 30 minutes. Let's begin. The festival of Dussehra, also known as Vijay Dashmi, is being celebrated in India. This day is considered as a symbol of victory of good over evil. As Navratri culminates into its 10th day, women smear each other with sindoor or vermilion and pray for the long lives of their husband. Vibrant Durga Puja celebrations came to an end with Vijay Dashmi. Devotees seek blessings and take the idol of goddess Durga to the nearby river or pond and immerse the idol into the water. On the occasion of Dussehra, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi participated and offered prayers in the Ram Leela celebrations at Dwarka in the national capital. During his address, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that Dussehra marks the triumph of good over evil. During the event, Prime Minister also witnessed the burning of effigies of Ravan, Kumbhakaran and Meghnath, signifying the triumph of good over evil. On the occasion of Dussehra, Indian President Draupadi Murmu attended Dussehra celebrations organized by Dharmik Leela Committee at Red Fort. In the Indian state of Himachal Pradesh, people have gathered from far-flung areas of the world to witness the famous Kullu Dussehra festival. Celebrations are underway in Mysuru in the southern Indian state of Karnataka as the city marks Dussehra festivities. The Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh celebrated the auspicious festival of Dussehra with the troops of Indo-Tibetan Border Police Forces in Arunachal Pradesh. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh also performed a Shastra Puja with ITBP troops at Tawang. The Indian Defence Minister laid a wreath at Tawang War Memorial in Arunachal Pradesh and paid tributes to the brave hearts. India's Union Home Minister Amit Shah is on a two-day visit to his home state of Gujarat. Amit Shah had lunch at the Bahuchar Mata Temple in Gandhinagar. India's Union Home Minister Amit Shah also laid the foundation stone of a sports complex in Gandhinagar. India's Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal participated in the plenary of the 7th Future Investment Initiative in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. India's Commerce and Industry Minister also met with the World Bank President Ajay Banga on the sidelines of the conference. The Indian minister also met with the founder of Bridgewater Associates called Ray Dalio. Security has been beefed up in Bastar region in the eastern Indian state of Chhattisgarh, which will be going to polls next month. 3 coaches of an empty electric multiple unit train derailed at a railway station in Chennai in the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu. Delhi's air quality hits very poor category today with the latest air quality index being 303 as per the air quality warning system. Moving on to business and economy, the Indian stock market remained closed today on account of the Dussehra. Gold buying in India is considered auspicious during the festive season. The demand for physical gold rises during the Dussehra and Diwali festivals across the country. Gold prices saw a slight decrease on Tuesday. The cost of 24-carat gold is now 61,060 rupees per 10 grams, down by 300 rupees. On Tuesday, Asian shares slid to their lowest levels in over 11 months, signaling unease in the financial markets. Concurrently, the dollar experienced fluctuations as cautious trading prevailed in anticipation of a substantial influx of economic data. Oil prices were stable following the previous session's dip after a flurry of economic data from Germany. The wider Eurozone and Britain sketched a bearish picture that could weigh on oil demand. Brent crude futures were up 41 cents at $90.24 a barrel, while the US West Texas Intermediate crude futures rose 38 cents to $85.87 a barrel. Wall Street stocks closed mixed as benchmark US Treasury yields backed down from 5% and investors shifted their focus to this week's high-profile earnings and closely watched economic data. The S&P 500 ended modestly lower, while a host of interest rate-sensitive momentum stocks, many of which are slated to post third-quarter results this week, buoyed the tech-leaded Nasdaq Composite Index to a higher close. The S&P 500 lost 7.12 points to end at 4,217.04 points, while the Nasdaq Composite gained 34.52 points to 13,018.33. French President Macron visits Israel and held talk with Netanyahu. He also met the families of victims of Hamas attack. While Israel continues airstrikes in Gaza, Hamas freed 2 Israeli women on health grounds in the early hours of Tuesday. The 2 Israeli women have been taken to a hospital for medical examination by Israeli army. Both were abducted near the Gaza border and their husbands remain hostage under Hamas. As more humanitarian aid arrives in Gaza, the United Nations has issued a warning about dwindling fuel supplies in the region. The conflict between Israel and Hamas continues to escalate. It enters its 18th day on Tuesday. As per officials, over 6,400 people have been killed and over 20,000 injured since the conflict began on the 7th of October. US President Joe Biden speaks to Pope Francis on the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas and emphasizes on release of hostages held by Hamas. The United States State Department said it was concerned about Iranian proxy attacks in the region amid ongoing conflicts between Israel and Hamas. As fighting between Israel and Hamas intensified, Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte met with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas on Monday in the West Bank city of Ramallah. He also called for humanitarian pause in the fight to allow aid to reach Gaza. The Dutch Prime Minister earlier held a meeting with his Israeli counterpart Benjamin Netanyahu in Jerusalem. The United States welcomed Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan's move to submit a bill approving Sweden's NATO membership bid to Parliament for ratification. Mexican President Andrés Manuel on Monday said he would press the US president to open dialogue with Cuba after hosting talks at the weekend to contain sharp increase in US-bound migration from Latin America. Russia's Black Sea Fleet was engaged early on Tuesday in repelling a Ukraine attack on Sevastopol. Prime Minister Viktor Orban's speech criticizing European Union leaders during the anniversary of Hungary failed. Uprising spurred thousands to protest in Budapest. Iran hosted talks between the foreign ministers of Armenia and Azerbaijan in Tehran on Monday. The meeting, also attended by foreign ministers of Russia and Turkey, was held in the shadow of rising tensions in the Middle East. At least 17 people have been reported dead and several others injured in an accident after 2 trains collided in Bangladesh. The accident occurred on Monday when a passenger train crashed into a freight train about 50 miles northeast of the capital, Dhaka. Metal workers at Brazilian plants of General Motors have gone on strike this week in protest against layoffs carried out by the US-based automaker in the country. The strike is for an indefinite period after the company announced layoffs at 3 factories in Sao Paulo due to drop in sales and exports. Cyclonic storm Hamoon intensified into a severe cyclonic storm over northwest Bay of Bengal on Tuesday. The cyclone is most likely to cross Bangladesh coast on the 25th of October as a deep depression. Fishing boats and trawlers over North Bay and Deep Sea have been advised to remain in shelter till further notice. The Bolivian Santa Cruz Department has issued a red sanitary alert along with shutting schools after fires across the region caused heavy pollution. The red sanitary alert has been issued due to dangerous air quality caused by fires raging in the Soy Ridge department. The tropical cyclone Tej is expected to reach the coast of Yemen this week, potentially causing heavy rain and increasing the risk of flooding in the eastern region of the country. The tropical cyclone is expected to be accompanied by heavy rainfall with strong winds and rough sea waves ranging between 6 to 8 meters. The Meteorology Department of Sri Lanka said the sea area in the central western Bay of Bengal has developed into a deep low pressure condition that will further develop into a cyclone within the next 12 hours. The Met Department said that showers and thunderstorms are also expected in many parts of the island later on the 25th of October. Around 100 climate activists dressed as Pinocchio staged a sit-in protest to criticize the Italian government's lack of action on climate change. The activists also said that they wanted to protest against lies and contradictions of the Italian government's policies. Human faces sculpted into stone 2,000 years ago have appeared on a rocky outcropping along the Amazon River. Lives of people from Vietnam's district have been positively changing due to joint efforts and solidarity of the authorities and local residents in developing new-style rural areas. Mexicans paint and get dressed as the iconic Mexican skeleton La Catrina for pre-Day of the Dead celebrations. Mexico City streets comes alive on Sunday as hundreds of skeletons parade on the main boulevard as part of festivities. All Souls Day interweaves Spanish influences with indigenous and sister worship in Latin America. Bobby, world's oldest dog, dies at the age of 31 in Portugal, breaking a record held since 1939 by an Australian cattle dog that died at 29 years and 5 months. His owner attributed his longevity to living in peace in the countryside, never having been chained up or kept on a leash and always eating human food. Solar-powered electric cars leave Darwin for a race across Australia to the southern city of Adelaide for 2023 Bridgestone World Solar Challenge. The 3,000 kilometers route is one of the world's most prestigious solar car races, created to foster development of experimental solar-powered vehicles. Indigenous Bolivian women Cholitas participated in a cycle race in Bolivia's El Alto in their large, colorful poleras. Defying gender stereotypes that limit them to domestic work, the participants ditched the expensive lycra suits and specialized footwear. After successfully hosting India's first of its kind Purple Fest, celebrating diversity, this year's India's Goa is all set to host the International Purple Fest in the coming year as well. The event is inclusive of persons with disabilities and will take place from the 8th till the 13th of January next year. Scientists during the Apollo 17 mission in 1972 collected about 243 pounds of soil and rock samples are now giving them a deeper understanding about the moon's formation and the precise age of Earth's celestial partner. The moon is about 40 million years older than previously thought, forming more than 4.46 billion years ago, within 110 million years after the solar system's birth, says the analysts. Famous Japanese author Haruki Murakami was welcomed with a big round of applause during his visit to a school in Spain. Murakami is all set to be given the Princess of Asturias prize in the literature category in Oviedo. Nigeria's commercial capital hosted the 4th edition of Door of Return Festival. The festival seeks to reconnect African diaspora to their roots. Guests were led to see relics from centuries ago, including the attenuation wall, where slaves were forced to drink from after they became less oppressive. A northern French farmer surprised his partner by asking her hand in marriage by using his tractor to shape giant letters in a field. Julian Thelias has been preparing for the proposal for a year. Using a tractor and brush cutters, he wrote the 180-meter-long phrase in the 2-hectare field, "Will you marry me?" Britney Spears superfans enjoys a drag show in London before getting their hands on a first copy of her autobiography. The special fan event featured a drag show in the build-up to the Women in Me's unveiling at the stroke of midnight, and some of the first copies were handed out to the excited fans. Iconic Australian rock band reunited for the first time in over 6 years to celebrate streaming success, album sales and new book written by the fans. The reason for their long separation was band member Gary Bear's relocation from Australia to Los Angeles. K-pop star 17 returns with their latest extended play called 17th Heaven, as well as revealed the music video for lead single God of Music. The 13-man group is currently riding the success of 2 back-to-back recording-breaking albums this year. Rapper Jay-Z finally weighs in on the long-standing internet debate on whether to have lunch with him or take $500,000. Over the past years, a hypothetical question has plagued social media, to which the 53-year-old has finally told the fans that they should do in a sit-down interview that is due to air on CBS Mornings this week. Indian actor Shahid Kapoor treats fans with the first look of his next project titled Deva. The actor shared his fierce look and revealed that it will be released in theatres on Dussehra 2024. Moving on to sports now, Quinton de Kock slams Bangladeshi bowlers as he scores the highest number of runs in the ongoing edition of Cricket World Cup. Quinton hit 174 of 140 balls. South Africa once again produced a fine show with the bat and piled a gigantic 382 for the loss of 5 wickets on the board after opting to bat against Bangladesh. India's Prachi Yadav continued her impressive performance at the ongoing Asian Para Games. Prachi bagged gold medal in women's canoe event. India's Deepti Jivanji clinched an historic gold medal in women's T20 400-meter event by creating a new record of 56.69 seconds. India's Manish Kaurav clinched bronze medal in the para canoe event, clocking an impressive 44.6 seconds. Tottenham Hotspur secured a 2-0 victory over Fulham, extending their unbeaten run in the Premier League and marking their best ever start in over 60 years now. Spanish soccer player Jenny Hermoso trained with Spain team for the first time since the team's Women's World Cup victory in the month of August. South Africa's national rugby team held a training session as they gear up to face New Zealand in the year 2023 final clash on the 28th of October. The Springboks hope to win a record 4th World Cup when they face the All Blacks in the title decider. And Saudi Arabia launched an annual esports World Cup, which will include the most popular games in the world and have the largest prize pool in esports history. And with this, it's a wrap here on Express News for now, but news and updates will continue here on DD India. From me and the entire family of Doordarshan, extending very warm wishes in the evening of Dussehra. Thank you so much for joining us here on Express News.